This is Coaching Club TV and I'm Tremaine. I'm an executive coach and behavioral economist. And now I want to ask you another question. Do you have a decision-making process? This is a question that I often ask, and the answers that I get aren't very different to these. Do you have a decision-making process? Yes, alright?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have a decision-making process?
My wife?
Okay, do any of you have a decision-making process? Just out of curiosity.
Informally.
Yeah, informally?
Yeah, informal.
Okay, I guess that's the wrong question to start with. The question I really should start with is, why do we need a decision-making process? It's natural for all of us to want to judge a decision on its outcome. We see a good decision as that which reaches its intended goal. But the reality is that in life, especially when it comes to big and important decisions, there are so many factors outside of our control. We should actually be judging a decision on the process that underlies it. But the important thing to remember is that throughout life, we only need a few more decisions to go right than what goes wrong in order for us to be successful. It's the overall trajectory of our decision-making that is important. A process allows us to focus on the steps involved in making good decisions and not to ultimately and continuously focus only on the outcome. So what is a decision-making process? Well, a decision-making process is a bit like a pair of shoes. It's very, very personal because everybody thinks differently, everybody processes information differently. So I don't like to say, this is how you should make decisions. No. So firstly, we'd look at a meta-decision. In fact, this is the one thing that separates out a really good and experienced decision maker from a novice decision maker, whether you consciously create a meta-decision or do it unconsciously. If you're a good decision maker, this is something you already know and already do. It is deciding how to decide and making sure that you're solving the right problem. The second step would be checking for framing. How information is packaged and presented is as important as the information itself. The third part of the process is to check in with your mental biases, your thinking mistakes. There are a great number of them and we all make them. In processing information, in researching information, in coming to conclusions, these mental biases creep into our thinking. Once we're aware of what they are, then it is much easier to control for them. And when decisions get really big and really important, they do play a starring role. The last part of the process is to check in with our unconscious processes and drivers. Every emotion that we generate is a cocktail of hormones, and that particular cocktail of hormones affects our risk perception differently. If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're frustrated, if you're under stress, which is also an unconscious process, they all affect how we perceive information very differently. So we check in with these and we ask ourselves, well, if we didn't have this particular emotion, how would it change how we perceive this information that we're using to make a decision? So that is, in a nutshell, the basics of a good decision-making process. How you use it, well, that's entirely up to you. It has to fit in with your thinking and how you perceive information. Remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel and you'll get all the rest of the videos as they come out, explaining each one of these in a little more detail. And if you want a little more help with making better decisions, contact us at the Coaching Club. We're a team of friendly, well-qualified coaches.